I was born into poverty in Chicago but only remember being brought up by two grandparents in two different houses. What I mostly remember about that time was my grandmother in an overcrowded trailer that always seemed too small for the number of people living in it. We didn't have much. My clothes were hand-me-downs. My shoes had already lived someone else's life before they became mine. Most days we struggled just to make ends meet. But even then, I refused to let my circumstances define me. I loved learning. School became my escape, and I excelled in the classroom. Straight A's came naturally, but they also made me stand out. I carried myself differently than the kids around me, and that difference made me a target. I was teased for being poor, for being smart, and for refusing to become what everyone expected me to be. As I got older, I wanted something I'd been missing for years, a chance to be with my parents. They had left Mississippi for Chicago in search of a better life. The plan was simple: once they got settled, they'd send for me. But life has a way of rewriting plans. Years passed before that day finally came. Moving to Chicago changed everything. Still, something inside me felt empty. I was tired of simply surviving. Tired of watching other people live the life I believed I was smart enough to have, and on top of that I had just found out that I had a baby on the way. I kept asking myself the same question. What's the point of being intelligent if you never have anything to show for it? No matter where I lived, I never felt like I truly belonged. So I kept moving, hoping the next place would feel like home. Then one phone call changed my life. A cousin who had moved from Mississippi to Wisconsin called and told me how much opportunity was there. He invited me to visit. I went. I never left. At first, nothing had really changed. I was still broke, bouncing between jobs, trying to figure life out. But the hunger inside me had grown stronger. I wanted more than I'd ever had, and I wanted it now. I asked my cousin to teach me the drug business. He looked me in the eye and said, "This isn't for you. You're too smart." Maybe he believed he was protecting me. Maybe he was. But I had already made up my mind. I watched. I listened. I learned. Before long, I figured out who his connections were. Eventually, I met the man at the top, the kingpin, and built a customer base of my own. The money came fast. Then it came faster. For the first time in my life, I wasn't worrying about bills or wondering where my next meal would come from. I traveled. I ate in expensive restaurants. I bought the clothes, shoes, and everything I'd dreamed about as a kid who had grown up with nothing. It felt like I had finally beaten the system. Until the knock at the door. It was late. Money was pouring in at one of my trap houses when someone knocked. A man stood outside looking like any other customer searching for a fix. Someone let him in without my knowledge. He wasn't a customer. He was an undercover police officer. In an instant, everything that I had built collapsed. The money disappeared. The fancy things disappeared. The lifestyle disappeared. Then came the court dates, the legal battle, and the one thing no one can ever get back. Time. Incarceration stripped away every distraction. There were no expensive clothes. No fast money. No reputation. Just me. For the first time in my life, I was forced to sit alone with my thoughts. I questioned everything. Was the struggle I came from really worse than this? Was chasing wealth worth losing my freedom? Would I make the same choices if I could do it all again? The answer wasn't as simple as people might expect. I wanted more from life, and I wasn't ashamed of that. The path I chose was wrong, but the desire that drove me was real. Somewhere behind those concrete walls and bars, I found something I had been searching for my entire life. I found myself. I found peace. I found my soul. When I was finally released, I had another choice to make. I could return to the life that had cost me everything. Or I could bet on the one thing no jail could ever take away from me. My mind. It took time and plenty of falling, but I eventually started my own business. One opportunity led to another. One success became the next. Slowly, honestly, I built the life I had been chasing all along. Ironically, I ended up exactly where my journey began, not in poverty, but in purpose. Everything I thought I was looking for in money, I eventually found in becoming the man I was always meant to be, but learning is a forever process.